Hey, it's Laura. Several years ago, I had a friend that was also a coach of mine, and I was struggling, kind of getting through my divorce and feeling very lonely. And when you have been in a relationship where you felt lonely for a long time, even though you were still together. And a lot of my clients come to me with kind of the same thing as they're approaching sort of exiting that relationship, really looking forward to finding a new best friend or someone that they can talk to because they've been lacking that in their own relationship that whole time. And I was no different. I really wanted to find my best friend. I still do. And I remember her getting irritated with me. And sometimes you have to be careful with your friends, your, certain therapists or coaches or anything like that. And oftentimes they will project their own feelings onto you. And so, we may all be a little bit guilty of holding a situation too close to the heart, in order to give an objective view or be frustrated with the situation or something like that. But I would say, like, I am tired of being alone. And she would kind of yell at me a little bit and say, I've been alone for 10 years and it hasn't even been that long. And you haven't gone through all of these things. And meanwhile, all I was doing was working on myself. I was dating, I was meeting people, but it was more a quest for self-discovery. And I just watched a clip of a Mel Robbins podcast, and her guest basically said, you don't need to be blissfully happy with yourself in order to meet someone. That's not the intention. You can be lonely and still want to meet someone, but you can't let that be everything. So that's the thing. So we need to keep working on ourselves so that we can be happy within ourselves, which is very important because we want to be happy independently so that we can be happy in our relationship as well. But it takes so much pressure off of, like, I felt like when she would talk to me, there was this magic threshold that I was suddenly going to walk across and, like, oh, this is what it's like. And now that perfect partner will, fall into my life. But that's not reality. We're all constantly struggling and growing all the time. And every time I meet someone who might be interesting, or I think like, wow, could this actually be happening? It's putting me one step closer in that direction. The way I handle myself, the lack of anxious attachment that I have, and recognizing now so much quicker that someone isn't for me. They're just not my people. They might be great. They might be nice. They might have a lot, going on for themselves. But if we don't speak the same language, it's probably not going to work out. And so I'm not going to keep putting myself out there or chase it for it to happen. Another person that I really like to follow is Jillian Turkic, and I probably just murdered her last name, but she's on Instagram and she gives great relationship advice too. And I really love her, and I'd love to have a conversation with her one day. She has helped me kind of objectively see a lot in myself throughout these relationships and just understand a lot better, and very, very big on communication, which is where I lie as well. So it's just really interesting, and it gives me some hope that there is something or someone out there. And I hope that it gives you hope as well. It's hard dating. And I was on a Facebook group like the other day, and somebody was asking for a friend. They're like, what apps do you use? And the thing is that I stopped like looking, because these apps are, I know people meet each other or whatever, but it's not the same as it was even a few years ago when I was first dating. So my advice and what I'm doing for myself is to just focus on finding friends. Ultimately, I'm looking for my best friend. So it's going to start off as something that two people are just compelled to spend time with each other. And then organically develop from there. It's just something that I've been thinking about and considering lately, and I wanted to share that with you. Yeah, just let it happen organically. And that right person, you'll or I should back up and say I had a conversation with a friend yesterday that, as we go through meeting these different people and maybe they're not so honest about what their intention is, or maybe they think they're being honest about their intention, but ultimately it's not really what they're looking for. The more thought and the less chasing that we're doing, we can recognize that so much quicker. So it's all practice until we get to the real thing. So we're just practicing. So every time you meet someone and it's like, I don't know, listen to your intuition. I listened to my intuition, and now I've gotten this like shorter time frame on the amount that I know. I'm like, I know my value. I am worth getting to know. I definitely don't want to put myself in a situation where I feel obligated to keep up a conversation with someone that ultimately I know is not really going to result in anything. I'm busy. I have things that, I'm trying to accomplish, and you should be too. So I guess my message is that you don't have to be innately happy in your life. You need to be happy, but it's not like your whole life is complete. It's okay to be lonely, and it's okay to want a partner to share your life with. And that's the part that I struggled with for so long, sort of judging myself because of these words that were said to me. I'm allowed to want a partner for sure and still love the life that I'm in.